Oh boy. As you may or may not know, each year I make some psychic predictions. Like at the end of one year, what I think is going to happen in the following year. It's just a way to have a little fun and show that it doesn't actually take that much to be psychic. Psychics are frauds who lie to people for money, though many people who think they're psychic are just lying to themselves and others. In the past, I've really nailed some of my predictions. Hell, apparently on one of my old podcasts in 2011, I predicted the Trump presidency, which is terrifying. I'm like Cassandra. So each year I take a look back at the previous year's predictions first to see how I did. And then I make new predictions for the coming year. So let's go back to what I thought was going to happen in 2020 and go through the predictions one by one. Okay, so first I said, I hope we get fascists out of our world governments. And we did vote out Trump, but he is still trying to steal an election that he already lost. So, and then I said, I hope I get to vote for someone progressive, which I did not. I had to vote for Joe Biden, which I did, and I'm glad he won. But progressive, not the right word. And then I said, I swear to God, I hope we see fewer deaths from measles and other vaccine-preventable illnesses in 2020. Okay, so COVID was not a vaccine-preventable illness, but it was preventable in several ways that were even easier than getting people vaccinated, and we fucked that up so badly. And as for measles, well, in November, researchers published a report showing that measles deaths have actually increased 50% since 2016, and due to COVID, the CDC says 41 countries have delayed or are planning to delay their measles programs for 2021, which is expected to lead to an even worse worldwide surge. So good job, Rebecca from 2019. Very psychic. I also said, I hope we get concrete evidence of alien life. And all we fucking got was the goddamn ex-Israeli space security chief going off his meds and trying to convince us all that the Galactic Federation has been in contact with the United States and Israel, but they don't think humanity is ready to know about them. As if Donald fucking Trump would learn that aliens exist and not immediately hop on Twitter to brag about how cool they think he is. So yeah, sorry, but that one doesn't count as a hit either. Let's see, what other bullshit did I say? Oh, here's one. I hope we get more people access to good health care. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, we ran out of beds in the ICU. They're putting people in storage closets and deciding who gets to live and who gets to die. Jesus, fuck, did I get that one wrong? Okay, finally I said, I hope the Oakland A's would win the pennant, and they didn't. They got pretty far, but they were beaten by the Houston Astros, the most corrupt, cheater-filled baseball team that has existed since the 1919 Chicago White Sox. Go ahead and look it up. I know most of you aren't sports people. So yeah, not my best year for predictions, and I'm starting to worry, like, is it possible that I'm just not psychic? Like, I honestly didn't do very well with my predictions the previous year either. Unless, is it possible that my predictions for 2019 were actually a year early? So let's see. Back in 2018, I predicted for 2019 a huge scientific breakthrough regarding a major cause of death, like heart disease or cancer. That didn't happen in 2019, but it did happen in 2020 because COVID became a major cause of death. And the huge scientific breakthrough was the fastest vaccine creation and rollout in human history. I also said a major hurricane would hit the southeast U.S. and 2019, not that big of a deal, but 2020 was an unprecedented year for storms, with the worst being Hurricane Laura, a hurricane that struck Louisiana in late August. I also said that Kirk Douglas would die in 2019. He didn't, but he did die in February of 2020. I said Kenny Rogers would die in 2019, but he died in March of 2020. I said Rob Schneider would die in 2019, and, well, it looks like his last remaining brain cell seems to have died in 2020. I think that's a hit. So that's it. Like, my psychic abilities were just a little early, which should mean that this year, my predictions for last year should come true. So let's go back and see what I predicted. Number one, we're going to kick out more fascists from world governments. I believe it. Number two, we'll see fewer deaths from vaccine preventable illnesses, which at this point is honestly a shoo-in, because even if measles cases continue to rise, and even if people refuse the COVID vaccine, we will vaccinate enough people to put a stop to the torrent of COVID deaths that we've seen in 2020. We'll get evidence of alien life. Hey, who's to say? Maybe the Galactic Federation really will get in touch. Or maybe we'll get something less impressive, but still really cool. Like, the first study has just been published this month using the largest map of Mars that's ever been made, exploring the geology of Mars' ancient river systems. And where there's ancient rivers, there's maybe ancient life. Also, the James Webb Space Telescope is launching in 2021, at which point it will begin scanning the atmospheres of hundreds of already discovered exoplanets orbiting nearby stars, looking for oxygen and water to see if they have the building blocks for life. And damn it, in 2021, we are going to get more people access to good health care. I may not have been able to vote for a progressive, but I did vote for a person who, at the very least, might be able to be bullied into making sure that more Americans get access to health care. It's gonna happen. I have to believe it. And of course, finally, the A's. The Oakland A's are going to win the pennant. They have to. I'm psychic. Or as good a psychic as anyone else, I think. Happy New Year.